Welcome to the Marvels, Mysteries and Midlanders podcast. Prepare to take a dive into all things mythical, eerie and downright strange. Stick around. You might just enjoy yourself.
How are you doing, gents? How you doing?
Good.
Lewis has lost his sexy facial hair. It's a day of losses. Yeah. It really is. I can't handle it.
He's still looking unreasonably handsome.
He always does. And they had a haircut as well.
Yeah, that's what I've just said, James.
Sorry. You know what? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm about 4 rum and Fantas in. So I'm a little bit drunk. Tipsy.
I am the
also a
of that.
glass of wine. You know.
Oh,
very, very unprofessional.
Coming to work drunk, James.
Well, it's not work if you don't get paid for it. Am I right, ladies and gentlemen? So yeah, I am a little bit inebriated. I won't lie. I'm feeling a little bit. What's the term?
Merry.
Dizzy, merry, numb,
Sick.
pathetic, and
Worthless. Life's not worth
living. Yeah, I can't feel anything. So
Oh,
now's the time to dig the daggers in. I'm numb all over. So you may as well just dig the knives in. And while I'm talking about digging knives in, welcome to Marvel's Mysteries and Midlanders. I am James, joined by the fantastic Adam Daly and the essentially sexy Lewis Carter. How you doing? Hope you had a good week. So, gents, are you well?
Yeah.
Are you well?
Yeah.
Lewis is
I too am well.
yeah, good.
How was your skiing holiday, Lewis?
Very good, thank you, Adam.
It's all right,
Very good,
all right
very
for
good.
some, innit?
We replaced you momentarily.
You were replaced by an American lady.
Yes.
You know what? You know
By a
what?
hot American wife.
Hot, haunted housewife.
Horny.
Thank you, Carly, for joining us on that episode. Hope you enjoyed yourself. But yeah, that was it. You know, it's been... How long has it been? It's been a week. You know what? It's been such a busy week for me. It feels like way longer. It doesn't feel like a week. Oh, Lewis, you can't agree. It's been 2 weeks for you. Yeah,
No.
I know what you mean. Liar. Get out of my face. So today is a weird episode because I've prepared nothing. Nothing at all. So you're probably... wondering...
Today's going to be a bit weird.
So you're
I'll
probably
tell you why.
wondering
I've done
what
nothing.
we're going to talk about. Well, interesting enough, I have found a list of strange deaths. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are talking about death. I've got an episode for you about death. So here we are, talking about death. And obviously last week, if you remember, our own vest-wearing Adam Daly, just realised you're wearing a vest. Looking good.
It must be warm
you know,
there.
I know, yeah. Is it hot?
Yeah,
Is it hot in Swansea?
It's a hot building. I'm on the 6th floor.
Heat rises.
You know,
Yeah.
you got to stay one step ahead of the heat.
Not heard that before, but I like it. It's a quality,
Nice.
quality quote, poignant quote. Gotta stay one step ahead of the heat.
You guys know one step ahead of the heat.
Why do we sound like some sort of drunk guy you'd meet in a pub?
Yeah, you guys
We
stay.
can't do- we can't-
You guys stay one step.
You know what? Actually, the other night I was picking up my wife from her work, and there was a guy there, and he looked like a hobo guy. He had his dog in a trolley for some reason. Dog in a
Maybe he
trolley.
didn't want to walk anymore.
Maybe, yeah, but he turned around and he went, "Those gloves look mighty warm." I was like, whoa! Hold on a second.
Go get a job. You can buy by yourself.
That is not the voice I expected to hear out of a man like yourself. That serves me right for being judgmental, you know? I assumed he was going to be like, "Excuse me, mate. Gloves, please." But no, he was nice. He said my gloves are warm, and I told him how they weren't warm. Actually, I need about another 10 pairs to essentially feel warm. So, yeah. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we're going to blast through a list of strange deaths from this book I've got here, titled Strange Deaths, a compendium of unusual ways to shuffle off this mortal coil.
Where do you
know
get
what?
that from?
Bought it off eBay, mate, about 10 years ago. And I seen it and I went, you know what? That book.
What did you Google? And what did you eBay search to get that?
At the time, I was massively into reading the 14 Times. So now, if any of you aren't familiar, the 14 Times is a magazine which is basically dedicated to strange stories. And a lot of things we've covered on this podcast have been covered in that as well. And some of our sources have been taken from that. So I think I seen the back of one of them, or I just Googled on eBay 14 times, and then up came this compendium of strange deaths. And here we are. And I bought it. And guess what I bought yesterday? Strange Deaths Part 2. So we've got
Are you
plenty.
preparing for next week already?
Preparing for the week, I decided to go, you know what? I'm sick of doing work, this podcast.
No one takes me seriously.
No one cares. I'm going to read from a book this week. And you know what? It's going to be the highest rated episode yet. Because also, James is drunk. And apparently, that's appealing. So...
This is just going to be an episode of James.
So this guy died. It's going to be that the entire episode.
This guy died and you don't appreciate me.
You don't appreciate me. If I was dead, would you remember? Would you? So yeah, that's the vibe we're going for this. But I figured, it's still, because the thing is, it's documented in this book I'm showing before you on the webcam. It's documented. Also, quickly off topic, do you like my Godzilla mural?
Yes, I do like.
I was wondering what it was.
Godzilla!
I was more interested
And
in the Super Meat
Super
Boy poster.
Meat Boy as well.
What's next to it?
That's Godzilla, mate. But
No, the other one, the other side.
let me just do a quick camera shuffle. It's a palmistry mural, but it's a cat paw, so it's palmistry. So it's quite it's good. This Super Meat Boy poster is actually double sided. It's got another. Yeah, doesn't matter. But yeah, so yeah, it's quite good, guys. I'm really doing well. I'm really doing well.
You're keeping it together, James.
I'm keeping it together. So today, death is a well-known, depressing topic, and we're not covering just death as a singular entity / event. We are more discussing these strange deaths that have happened to people. Now, these are very short stories. We're going to get through a lot of them today. There's various topics. You've got topics such as oops, when pets go bad, strange suicides, dangers of religion, killer critters, fits of madness, they died on the job, look out below, and gone, but not forgotten. So,
Can we read the strange suicides one?
We can start there, yeah, of course. So that's page 29. So, yeah, some of you may be sitting there and going, this episode's a complete cop-out. You know what? It is. But I've written 36 episodes consistently for 36 weeks. 6 weeks, something like that. So you know what? I deserve a break. All right, I'm working on new episodes. I deserve this. So
this episode is just going to be James just like
this
shouting at our like
is a mix.
3 or 4 listeners.
This is a yeah, you 3 listeners out there. Guess what? I don't need you 4 listeners.
Fuck you.
Why you even listen to me?
It makes it even more effective with the glass in his hand.
This is a mixture.
no one
So,
listening?
quick story. Split it on my arm. Yeah. It's a mixture. This is dark rum and Fanta. Real classy drink.
Is it nice?
It actually is quite nice because what happened was I went to McDonald's the other night for my first McPlant burger, which Lewis can agree is quite nice. And I got obviously a large Fanta, and I was like, I'm gonna save this for some cocktails. So I left it in the fridge for about a week, which is probably not good, but I've mixed it with my rum cocktails. Yeah, you know what? The thing is, though, I may be kind of drunk, but I cooked an entire curry, to which my wife said was really nice. So I'm succeeding. Succeeding.
That was nice of Hannah.
My wife, my muse, my goddess,
My queen.
my queen, my love. But yeah, strange suicides. So we're not slagging off people who've died. Okay, we've never done that in a literal sense. We've done it.
Oh, you're dead, mate. That's a bit
Oh,
cringe.
what? He went and died? How embarrassing. It's making light of a relatively dark situation. And if you can't handle that, I suggest you send a complaint email to marvels.mysteries@gmail.com, to which we will read it and go,
Or follow us on
Or
Instagram.
follow us on Instagram at Midlanders or Midlanders even. So, let's start from the start. So, a cheerful man killed himself so that he could avoid losing his feelings of happiness.
No, it's quite an interesting thought.
Because this is why I like this episode already, because we all have a unique outlook on how life works. Death, philosophy, living, happiness. We've all got and Adam's currently rolling up tissue paper because, get the vitamins in while you're at it, mate. That luxury stuff. Good. So, this guy killed himself to avoid losing the feeling of happiness. So do you think it's a case of this guy, happiness was such a rare feeling for him, he was like, right, I've got it. End it now. End it now.
Maybe so.
Maybe so. Well, here we go. Syrian police said that Najib Sadi, 35 years old, the boss of a fish firm, left a suicide note saying he was perfectly happy, but was afraid of future unhappiness. That's interesting. You're so scared of any potential unhappiness in the future that you kill yourself.
It kind of it draws upon I think it's a story about one of my favorite philosophers.
Let's hear it.
Called Soren Kierkegaard.
You get your degrees, money's worth here now.
I gotta get that £9,000. And
me and Lewis paid £3,000 a year, just in case anyone's interested.
He basically said that he was in love with this woman, and he was absolutely besotted with her, and they planned to get married. And he had a moment where he was like, the love we have for each other now will never be the same after this. So in order for him to keep the love he had, he broke off the marriage and broke up with her, because he knew that he would never have the same thing with her again.
So he brought...
And he wouldn't be able to sustain the love he had, his version of the love he has for her now. And he knew it would just kind of diminish, and he would never ever be able to have that feeling again.
We've had this conversation before on the car back from Lewis's house, haven't we? Yeah. It's weird because I understand, I kind of get the logic, remember the feelings of that loving high. But at the same time, you then go into I've realised when I'm drunk, when I'm talking philosophy, I sound like such a dick. I'm like, at the same time, you don't.
However, one must when you're talking about philosophy, you've got to understand that none of it really matters to you, a uncultured swine.
No, I'm thinking because it's because obviously we've all been in relationships, and when you have bad times, it's why is it worth having this? Is it even worth it?
Yeah,
but then as things recover and you go to happy moments, should I say, it's the opposite. But wouldn't ending a relationship, you could say to yourself, I've ended it with the happy memories in mind, but you've still ended it, so that's still an end. So you will still actively grieve that part of your relationship, so you're still giving it a bad ending.
The guy who killed himself, was he in a relationship?
I don't know. It just says that he killed himself when he was perfectly happy to avoid future unhappiness, and this was in the 29th of April 2000.
Where did he live?
Syria.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably the place to. I don't think Syria's the happiest place in the world right now, or
not right now anyway. But
after he died.
Maybe 22 years ago it was a great place, but...
There's a lyric in a song, I can't remember that song's name, but it's by...
Can't wake up! Wake me up,
Close. And it's something like, a life without love is no life at all, but a love without life, that happens every day.
Ooh, that's deep.
And it's quite
Explain it.
Nice.
Explain it.
So, I mean, it's best to live life and search, well, not search for love, but experience love. But the people who are actually in love have no life in that love. And this is the thing we were talking about earlier where,
Are you saying that being in love is not a life? Because,
No. It's because do you know when people just stay together because they're so scared of being alone?
Yeah, I know. It's unfortunate.
You have the thing that people are searching for and want so badly, but, it's there's no life in your love, essentially.
That's the thing. Once the love is gone, why? I mean, I say why stay together, but the reason why people stay together when they've fallen out of love is because A, they either plan or hope to fall in love again, which I understand, but also as a society, we've created these systems and such in place, like financial systems where you own a house together or you require each other's income to remain with a house, a roof over your head. So that's why there's so many. I mean, the amount of people I've known who have split up, but they stay in a relationship just for convenience. Of all things, it's a shame because everyone deserves to be happy in love, for sure. Like it's something that everyone deserves.
It creates that bitterness, doesn't it? And not just in the relationship, but you can tell the bitterness in a person from a situation.
It takes
like that.
one situation to consistently just kind of grow and curdle your soul in a way. For you to build that bitterness, it hasn't got to be your entire life. It's just be one aspect, and it just turns you.
And then, like, if you try and I don't know, I feel sorry for like some children that grow up in households like that because it's almost like you've got the convenience of being together and having like a house and a marriage, and it will cost so much to get divorced if we don't love each other anymore. And they say, well, let's try and reignite the relationship by having kids.
No, it's having a child is not the answer to fixing your relationship. And anyone who's listening to this, honestly, like it's not. It's just another. And it sounds bad. It's another liability towards a relationship. Because having a kid is. I mean, I've never had one, but I've seen people. My parents have seen it. It's the most.
I'm pretty sure people have children.
I swear, Homo sapiens have children. It's one of the most stressful things you can do having a child because it's not just. Because not to quickly wank myself off on the podcast, but I taught. I taught some voice acting to children the past weekend, different ages of classes. Lewis is doing some obscene act on the webcam, and I taught them, and I did 6 50-minute classes teaching these kids voice acting. They were lovely, they're really interesting, amazing ideas and such, but so tiring. It's really. But imagine that was 6 hours. At the end of the day, I was like, I can't do this anymore. But imagine doing that 24 hours a day for 18 plus years. You can see why it changes you as a person.
Does it put you off? Does it put you off kids then?
Well, that's the thing. Like with children and stuff, like I'd love a kid, but at the same time, I'm so focused on building my personal career and life. It's not a case of not wanting kids. It's just I don't.
It's not the right time.
Yeah, but who wants another suicide? Sorry, Adam, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say back to the person who killed himself because he was scared of feeling unhappiness again because he was perfectly happy. Very, I don't know, very, very similar to just relationships and everything like this in love, but it's a very thought-provoking.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Syrian man.
Thank you, Mr. Sadie.
I think that's what we all want, isn't it? To die
what was his name?
Sadie.
Sadie.
No way.
No, it is not.
Mr. Najib Sad.
So you could say he was never
Mr.
happy.
Sadie.
No, Mr. Never Happy. Yeah, that's correct.
Mr. Never happy, always
The thing
saddy.
is always saddy. The thing is, well, I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there who say when they have relationships and a way to kind of make the other party, especially with men, make the other female or the party, should I say, guilty. They always go, "I'm gonna kill myself. I'll kill myself if I can't be with you." I've heard it before.
Oh, really? I've never.
Yeah, I've heard it before. I've heard it before because it's me who does it. No,
I'm very emotionally manipulative. Manipulative.
Why should I feel bad when clearly they're the ones with the issues? Yeah.
If you break up with me, I will literally kill myself.
What are you going to do then? Live with the guilt? I don't think so. Right, so here's another one. A cult member poisoned himself by eating yew tree leaves in a New Age suicide ritual. An inquest heard on the 14th of October, 2005. Stephen Davidson, 35 years old, a member of the Barry Long Foundation, died alone in Butley Woods near his home in Glastonbury, Somerset, the previous April. He was found by a passerby near a pile of yew tree leaves, healing crystals, pebbles, and a book called The Ending of Time. His tent, pitched nearby, was painted with occult images, many of a sexual nature. He had tiny particles of leaf in his throat, resulting in a yew leaf toxicity, fatal breathing, and heart problems. He had been living in the woods for more than a week before his body was found. That was 15th of October, 2005. So he just ate some leaves, basically.
Was he trying to kill himself, or?
It sounds like he was. I mean, it was called a New Age suicide
He was
ritual.
reading a book called The End of Time.
The Ending of Time. So, I mean,
What were
maybe
these
that
leaves
was
again?
yew tree leaves.
Yew tree. Yew tree.
Yeah, yew tree. Yeah, yew tree leaves.
Oh, well.
Apparently, it's part of a cult called the
Barry Long.
Barry Long Foundation. So
That's a very like
is that... Welcome
simple
to Barry
name.
Long Foundation.
My name is Barry Long,
My name is very long.
and I have a cult.
You want to kill yourself for me? It doesn't mean anything.
So Renato Di Paolo, 23 years old, hanged himself on 22nd of April 2000 during an Easter Passion play in Camerata Nuova, a hamlet of 200 people, 47 miles from Rome, while portraying Judas, the apostle who betrayed Jesus and then committed suicide in remorse. It was 10 minutes before the audience and his fellow actors realised that Di Paolo wasn't acting, but unconscious after the noose, lashed to a tree branch, pulled tightly around his neck.
Holy
He was
shit!
rushed to hospital, where he's pronounced dead.
Was it suicide or was it
Well,
an
it says
accident?
suicide here, but maybe he just went method acting. Method acted the hell out of it.
So he just like
Judas
he just
him.
did it in front of like during the play,
Yeah,
in
they were
front of
doing
200 people.
they were doing an Easter Passion play in Italy, and you know this guy was like, right, Judas time, let's hang myself. You know what would be really cool if I actually hung myself. Again, I'm not being mean here. It's just a joke, guys. Make light of
Barry
the
Lo-
situation.
Oh, Barry Long, I've got something that'll be really funny. There's this play called Hamlet, and I'm thinking. And they'll be there for 10 minutes before they realise.
Quality entertainment. Quality entertainment. Right, I'm going to skip forward in the book now. Here we are. We're now in the chapter of mysteries.
joke's on you.
We're in the mysteries now. So I want you guys to try and solve suicide mysteries, you know? Suicide mysteries. So, Andy Connell, 38 years old, a father of 4, and his friend, Kenneth Knapp, 23, were found dead at 11 a.m. on the 19th of May, 1999, in Connell's Dunlop Tower council flat in the centre of East Kilbride, south of Glasgow. Connell's sister, Nancy, found them sitting in armchairs and thought at first they were asleep. The television in front of them was flickering. A video was in the recorder. Their heads were propped up against the cushions and their legs spread out in front of them. Both had been dead for 24 hours. There was no sign of forced entry and no injuries on the bodies. The flat had no gas supply, so it wasn't carbon monoxide poisoning, and the post-mortem ruled out drugs. Knapp had worked in a local pub for a while, and Connell was a customer. There was no suggestion that the friendship was in any way unusual. 6 weeks later, the deaths remain unexplained. Sunday, the 4th of July, 1999.
Yeah,
Explain, gentlemen. Come on, let's hear it. Let's hear
Well,
your
that was-
big brain plays.
That was what I was going to jump to, the carbon monoxide.
Mm.
You never know. Maybe it was some other kind of gas. It sounds
Counterfeit
gassy, doesn't
alcohol. It's a quality gassy situation. Maybe it's counterfeit alcohol.
Maybe so.
Maybe they got some backyard alcohol. Like our friend Jim Lewis, he bought some bootleg moonshine version of Jägermeister that didn't taste like Jägermeister at all. And we love Jim. He's a quality guy. But the alcohol did taste questionable to the point which I refused to drink anymore as soon as I tasted it.
I'd say simultaneous aneurysm.
You know what? It sounds weird, but it really
happen.
could.
It could
be.
happen.
Yeah, exactly. There's this one. Speaking of it, I remember this one story of a suicide I heard where a father was responsible for shooting his son, and what happened was apparently, hear me out now. The couple was. This may be complete like just lies. But basically, the couple was arguing. An older couple. They were arguing in a flat, and the husband was like, "I'm gonna pull a gun on my wife," because that is a normal, healthy thing to do in an argument. And basically, he shot at his wife. He missed her. Bullet went through the window. Yet their son was found dead at the bottom of the flats, the apartment complex, what have you, with the bullet from that exact gun in it. It turns out he shot his gun at his wife, missed him. At the same time, their son committed suicide by jumping off the top of the flats, and the bullet hit the son as he passed the window.
No, that's bullshit. No way.
Is that in the book?
No, that's the story I heard a long time ago.
Oh.
What, you don't believe it because it's not in a bloody book?
Where's your sources?
Sources is my brain. I'm a reliable source of information. I've never told a lie. Ever.
I do like that.
Believe me.
But you'd think if you were jumping off a building that...
Do you say the bullet was in his head?
Sure. The dad was a crack shot. He was basically Hawkeye.
He was McCree.
It's high noon. Got you. Got you, boy. Awful coincidence. Awful coincidence.
I mean, surely it's got to happen somewhere, sometime. Like these mad 1 in a million chance occurrence.
1 in a million sometimes is enough to happen to you. Can't wait to get, electrocuted, burned alive, and drowned all at once because of some strange domestic nightmare in my bathroom. Because it's coming. Yes. It's coming.
Oh, it's coming, everyone.
Oh, it's coming, all right. It's coming. It's coming in
For
hard.
all of you.
Exactly. We're all going to burn, fry, and drown at the same time, and you're going to love it. I promise. Right, so, when pets go bad now, guys. So, duck hunter Thomas Charles, 28 years old, was shot dead in January 2007 when his dog stood on his gun and it fired at him in Nashville, Tennessee.
Well, I fired at the dog.
The dog stood on his gun and shot him.
Oh, no.
What you doing, Rover? There we go. That's
Put the gun down, Rover.
Put the gun down, Rover. That's how it went. Yeah. A month later, Dragos Mila, 37 years old, was shot dead by a badger. He dropped his rifle when the animal fled a hole in Gornji Milanovac, Serbia. It then ran over the gun, which went off, shooting him in the stomach. Wow.
Oh,
fantastic coincidence. Fantastic.
If I could choose my death, it would be something like that.
Don't leave your guns on the floor loaded.
No, yeah. I'm going hunting, but I'll put my gun on the floor. Some sort of amazing booby trap. Okay, so let's get into it. If you were gonna die, how would you want to die? How would
I'd
you
do
want to die?
the exact same situation, but I'd like hog tie myself, put the gun on the floor.
How
and
would
just,
you hog tie yourself?
I'd find a way, and then I'd just wait for the animals to come.
Eat me. Eat me.
Right.
Eat me now.
I'd have the barrel of the gun in my mouth, and I'd be trying to. I'd say, "Oh, good doing?
Come on, pot the fire. Yeah.
Here comes a friendly deer."
I'm going for erotic asphyxiation. Yeah, or
I did not expect that.
or just the peak of sexual pleasure. Just quickly, sorry, Dad, but it's best you know this about me. No, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a pleasant situation to die.
It's the most pleasurable experience I could die in.
Yeah. What's
being on the fucking cusp of consciousness and achieving climax?
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be horrifying for my wife for me to just die on top of her, surely. No,
surely that would never be horrifying.
Are you enjoying this? Ooh! But no. I think the nicest one obviously is to die in your sleep, isn't it? That's the one that people say. You're not really conscious. You just go like tears in rain, Blade Runner.
Lovely that was.
Yeah.
Really improvised.
Right, you. Yeah, completely. Lewis, how about you? How would you want to pop your clogs?
I'd like to die happy than that saddy bloke.
Lewis Happy.
But
I wouldn't Mr. Sadie,
do it.
I am very happy
by choice. So maybe sleeping in having a happy dream.
Yeah.
Does it not terrify you that you could go to sleep at any kind of day or night, and this could be the last time you ever wake up?
Nah.
Well, it does now.
You're not gonna know about
It does
it.
now.
I'm
the
just
thing,
never gonna
like-
sleep.
Because Lewis, you had a really unique, or I say unique, but an interesting concept of death, didn't you? Because we had a conversation about this a few months ago, and you were saying like you're not bothered by the concept of death at all, are you?
I don't want to die. Like unnecessarily.
I don't want to die.
I've never heard Lewis sound so sincere. I don't want to die. Yeah.
I mean, we're all gonna die, aren't we? But I don't want to
Yeah.
die
Thanks for that.
prematurely. But no, I think when you go to sleep, you don't really know that you've been to sleep, do you?
You just wake up.
You just wake up. If it's a particularly deep sleep and you're not
Yeah.
dreaming at all. So if that's what it's like, then
What if? Imagine.
you don't know what
if
you're
you-
missing because
Imagine
you're
if you
not
went
you're
to
not
sleep.
there to. You're just not there, are you?
True.
Yeah.
True.
But imagine you went to sleep and you're having a really lucid dream, and your dream just ended when you died in your sleep. It just cut out
Yeah.
No,
fades to black.
Yeah.
The Grim
But then you're
Reaper
not.
would
Then you're
appear.
not thinking, "Hey, what happened to that dream?"
Hey, what's the ending of this?
Why is it all dark? You can't.
In my mind, the Grim Reaper would show up and he'd be like, "Oh, I know who you are," and he'd be like,
Time to take you to hell.
I'd be like, "Not without a fist fight, Grimmy," and then it'd be a fist fight, and then
You'd be like
see-
semi-pissed as well. You'd be
Yeah.
like,
Go on.
fuck off, Bo.
What, he's trying to take me to the other side. Well, guess what? I don't want it.
You've stepped into hell.
I'm only 99 years old. Yeah. You said, guess what, mate? You thought you'd come from hell. Well, I've got a whole new circle of hell to show you. Step into the 10th circle of hell. Yeah. Like,
10th circle as well is gonna be your ass.
yeah, you're a philosopher, Adam. You've
Well-
got that side. What can you give?
I'm
an
trying
angle?
to top the pretension. I think I can.
Pretension.
We all spend our lives slowly killing ourselves anyway. So
I just drank 8 portions of.
exactly, death juice, and it's not even the death juice.
Delicious.
It's the argument of someone could be the healthiest they could ever be and
Yeah.
eat the correct things, and they could die at 28. Whereas someone that abuses alcohol and cigarettes and anything that's considered, societally bad for you,
Yeah.
your health, will live a long and maybe prosperous, but but they'll live a long life. So it's almost like, why is that? Why should that happen?
Because there's
Like, why
those
is that
people
fair?
who have lived for hundred years. and
Those
then-
fucking people that are selfish bastards.
and people ask them, "Oh, how did you? What's your secret to a long life?" And they say, "Oh, olive oil." Or
Yeah, they say some really
peanut
That's
dumb
butter
something that
sandwich.
everyone
I have
eats.
2 liters of Diet Coke a day.
It's the strangest thing. Because the truth, I think it's just, in a way, it's down to genetics as well. Like there's just, you just
I think the
happen.
perfect answer for that is if you live to 109 or some grand old age, and someone asks you, "What's your secret?" and they just respond with, "I'm just really unlucky. I just can't die."
Listen, mate, you want to hear something funny? I wanted to die since I was 30, and yet here I am.
I reckon it's there must be a subreddit for all these really, really old people, right? And they just message each other being like, "What is the most ridiculous thing we can say to these people? What's your secret?" Eating shit. eat one of your shits a day and you'll live to my age.
My favourite subreddit
Goodbye.
are oldies. Yeah, get myself on there. Yeah,
I can't die.
I can't die. Yeah,
That's creative.
does that exist? Let me just quickly check on my phone. Yeah,
moderator. What subreddit do you moderate? I can't die.
yeah, it's actually quite one of the most popular subreddits out there. Very massive geriatric community. Do you guys want another death?
Hit me with death. Please, God, hit me with that.
Pamela Weaver was killed by her pet camel. First of all,
Who the fuck has a pet camel?
exactly. Thank you, Adam. I was getting to that. She was killed by a pet camel at her family's sheep and cattle ranch near the town of Mitchell in Queensland, Australia. It knocked her to the ground, stamped on her head, oof, and lay on top of her. Jesus Christ. Her husband, Noel... What was it, sorry?
I'm fucking sick of you, Charlotte.
I'm just
gonna kill you.
Prepare to die.
The camel just suddenly got sentience and like
Yeah.
some form of just thinking. He was like, I could kill this bitch.
I could just sit on her and all my problems
Do you know what?
would go away.
he just snaps and starts beating the shit out of her.
Stop on her head! Stop on her head! Yeah, that's exactly. So her husband Noel, who gave her the camel as a 60th birthday present in March 2006. Sorry,
What a weird present.
sorry, rich folk. He returned home to discover her body on the 18th of August 2007. He had considered buying her a llama or alpaca, but found they were too expensive. The camel was just 10 months old, but already weighed 335 pounds and had come
Fucking hell.
close to suffocating the family's pet goat on a number of occasions. Mrs. Weaver was in the middle of cooking dinner and there was a cup of tea on the kitchen table. The camel was wandering loose in the backyard. Many reports said the camel was trying to mate with Mrs. Weaver, but its behaviour was more consistent. But its behaviour
Consonant, please, Rachel.
but his behaviour was more consistent with seeing off a love rival. I mean, remember last week, Adam, we discussed human-animal hybrids.
Oh, hybrids, yeah.
Imagine a human-camel hybrid.
Oh my god. Where would you have the hump? It'll be my ass.
My ass is my hump. My hump, my hump, my hump. I
Nice.
do squats for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. So he tried to mate with her. What happened is certainly characteristic of a bull in season, said camel expert Paddy McHugh. That's how they kill their opposition. They pull their legs out from underneath them, then sit on them with their brisket, which is the hard bit underneath their chest. Mr. Weaver, who broke down in tears at his wife's funeral on 23rd of August, said, I mean, first of all, I can see why he's breaking down into tears at his wife's funeral. It makes sense. You have to forgive the camel. He loved her very much. She loved animals, rearing everything from goats, kangaroos, emus, rabbits, and the camel. The family agreed that the camel would not be destroyed. Chris Hill, who had been offering camel rides to tourists for 20 years, said camel calves were not aggressive, but could be dangerous if treated as pets. He had no doubt the camel's behaviour was sexual. Though death by camel is extremely rare, there was another case only 4 months earlier. Kathy Aki, 55, who with her husband owned an exotic animal farm in Wewachica, Florida, died on the 22nd of April after being kicked and then sat on by an 816-kilogram camel during a break in filming by a location television station.
Fuck me, how much do camels weigh? 800? No
lot.
way is it 816.
This is what I do. This is what I do. This is what I do when I see it on you. Crushed dead. Yeah, that's it.
That is heavy.
So that's a
That
lot
is
of
heavy.
weight. I mean, hopefully it's over quite quickly for you. You know, maybe just quickly, just get it out the way.
That's like more than
Crush
10
me
of
harder.
me. Way more than 10 of me.
Imagine being crushed by 10 Lewis cars. Well, to be fair, a lot of women out
That's
there,
how
that's
I'd wanna
probably
die.
their dream. Lewis, there's women out there who
Yeah.
would love to be crushed or pleasured by 10 Lewis cars at once. You can pull a face of doubt, but
may have been
I've got the
crushed
messages.
or pleasured.
I've got the messages, mate. There is some serious thirst for the Carter. Lewis Carter has
the
got
cart horse.
the cart horse. People want to roll in the hay with Lewis Carter. They want them to, they want right whispered in their ear gently. You know that. Oh yes. You know that is what women want. You know, me and Adam we're just tools in this machine. But you,
just fucking soy boys.
yeah, we're just soy boys. But you are the end product. It's like, you are what women want. And frankly, previous experience, I know you've got what they need. Don't ask why I know that, listeners. Just know that
I know you have a penis. I've seen it before.
I know there's some quality
Working.
goods. That boy does dick push-ups every day. Don't let me fool you. He is vicious, ladies and gentlemen. He may be kind on the mic, but he's not kind on the body. Believe me. So moving on.
relentless.
He's relentless, like the energy drink. He just does not stop. He's a ravager of flesh. He's a twister of the cerebrum. He's a destroyer of the human spirit. In a good way. Purveyor of pleasure. Next story. The perils of karaoke. One man was killed and another wounded in the Philippines in November 2001 when a fight broke out at a karaoke bar in Manila over the quality of the singing. Your quality's shit, mate! Sing better! I'm gonna stab you! Many karaoke clubs in the country had already removed Frank Sinatra's My Way from their playlist because so many fights broke out as the egocentric anthem was being performed. In July 1998, drunken revelers fatally stabbed Eli Dignadice, 29 years old, after he sang an off-key rendition of a popular love song, Remember Me, at a Manila karaoke bar. His performance drew jeers from 10 men who later attacked him with knives, bottles, wooden clubs, and a gun.
Wow.
Can you imagine if
being-
X Factor was like that?
Simon Cowell pulling out a revolver. Now, I don't think that was very good at all.
Just kneecaps him.
Next! Yeah. Imagine that. What would an off-key version of My Way sound like, Lewis, if you could do your
It's
best?
something else, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
Me.
it was Remember Me, but I can't remember how the song goes.
But that's quite poignant, isn't it? Seeing as he's dead.
Yeah.
Remember
Getting
me.
shot. I've got the Coco Remember Me version in my head. Remember Me. Getting stabbed and shot. Also, getting stabbed is just horrible. I mean, it's never happened to me, but like the thought of that happening is just
fucking
horrible.
shit.
Yeah, it is.
I would rather be shot than stabbed.
If you can
Yeah.
help it, don't get stabbed.
public service announcement. If you can avoid getting stabbed, do try it. I've heard it's actually quite good for your health. But yeah, what would My Way sound like out of tune, Lewis? If you could do a good rendition of that.
What are the lyrics?
My Way.
Yeah.
And now
And
the
now
end is here.
the end is near, and
Sing it.
so I face the final curtain.
I understand there's 10 men.
I want it my way.
I want to stab my screen, not let alone you two.
Oh, also, quickly, speaking of death, Meatloaf died today, didn't he?
Oh,
the
shit,
day,
yeah,
a
I
day
heard
of
that
recording this
this morning.
episode, Meatloaf, 74 years old, passed away. So, rest in peace to Meatloaf.
Have you ever watched? You've watched Fight Club? haven't
Oh,
you?
what's in? Where he's Bob with bitch tits.
Yeah, I did not know that
Bitch
was
tits
Meatloaf.
Bob, yeah.
I legit thought Meatloaf was like a band.
I mean, he was a band.
I didn't realize he was like that was his.
He's also an
you know,
actor. Yeah.
Yeah,
But I heard he become vegan later in his life, so
maybe
technically,
vegan Meatloaf.
yeah, vegan meatloaf or pea protein meatloaf.
Are you flagging that?
Thriller,
Graham?
thriller in
Flagging.
Manila.
Are you
Yeah,
flagging?
I've not drank alcohol for nearly
I'll surrender.
53 minutes, so I'm starting to feel the shame, the embarrassment, and frankly, the
Get the rest down, you son.
I
Get
already
back
have,
on it,
look.
lad.
You got no more.
The glass is empty. I mean, I've got
You
more in.
Fuck this, man.
Now the dehydration starts. I'm like,
I have a nice little bit of water if you'd like. Some.
please.
Come here, baby.
Word again.
Hey.
Oh right. Oh, we're adults and we drink water. Wow.
I was literally just on a 2-day bender, James.
Don't feel as bad anymore. I've been on a 2-hour bender and it's been great.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
2-day
Amazing.
bender. It's Friday.
Adam, what's the earliest you've ever
Two-day
drank?
bender on a school night.
What's the most you've drank? I mean, sorry, the earliest you've drank.
No,
Not classing midnight, so obviously 1 a.m. That's
Probably
like
like-
evening.
9 o'clock or something.
Really?
Breakfast time, yeah.
What was it? What was
I think it was Christmas.
it? Oh, okay, well that doesn't count because Christmas
Yeah.
is that's just free.
But if it's just like a casual Wednesday, we
10
we had
a.m..
We had bottomless brunch at 2 o'clock yesterday. It was alright, not too bad. Had like 15 cocktails.
what?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Because they were obviously you pay like £28.50 and you get unlimited drinks for 2 hours.
Oh
So we
yeah,
were
well,
like
yeah. I'll be all
we
over
are
that.
gonna rinse your stock. But I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure like when they see like someone that's doing bottomless brunch, they skimp on the alcohol. And
Yeah. That's why you bring your own. I remember when we went on a Christmas party.
bring your own.
When I went to Aldi, went on a Christmas party, I brought loads of miniatures or whatever you call them in my coat. So I get a drink, I'm like, just add an entire bottle of vodka into that. And everyone's like, "You're gonna get thrown out the bar." And it's like, not if I do my job correctly, I won't. So yeah.
Easy.
You know what? At the end of the day, when you buy alcohol, the only reason you're buying it is to get drunk most of the time. So you may as well just speed up the process, If I get drunk off one drink, I've saved some money.
Exactly.
I've done my job.
Percentage over volume.
Yeah, exactly. Over volume, always.
Do it right.
You know what?
Give me another day.
This episode is called Strange Deaths, but frankly, we've not spoke about the strange deaths. I think we've done about 4 for nearly an hour. So
I'd say that the
I blame the alcohol.
camel death was pretty strange.
Yeah, that was quite strange. So here's another one. A man bled to death in New Delhi in 1999 after his wife stabbed him for demanding a second cup of tea that she was not ready to serve.
I'm not ready yet.
Get shanked, this bastard! Get shanked! Yeah. Later that year, Abdel Nasser Nuruddin from the Cairo working class district of Imbaba lost his temper with his wife, Zainab, when she refused to make him a cup of tea because she was too busy watching the solar eclipse of the 11th of August. He strangled her in the ensuing quarrel. When he discovered that his wife was limp and lifeless, he carried her to a nearby heart institute, but the doctors told him she was dead.
Wow. What's this handprint
thought-
round her neck?
Very suspicious.
She's not waking up!
I thought the wife had stabbed the husband.
That's
That-
a
that-
different
like,
story.
Excuse
that,
me,
that was the
excuse me,
first
that's not
one.
a-
That was the first story.
Oh, the
it
second
was like
one,
a two similar stories. But the
Oh,
first
right,
one,
okay.
she shanked him for being too impatient, waiting for her for his tea.
Yeah,
And that's what happened.
Prison shank.
A prison shanked. Yeah, that's what you deserve. You know what? I can't imagine ever being mad enough to stab someone because they wouldn't make me a cup of tea.
Oh,
just
mad
me?
enough. Who said man enough?
You
like,
mad enough to
Jesus.
stab me? Mad enough to stab someone
Yeah.
because they were taking too long with your cup of tea. I mean,
I don't even like tea. sorry, lads. I didn't mean to fucking.
I had to think about it because you know what? I don't drink tea much often either. I make cups of tea every day for my wife basically. But I had one cup of tea the other night because it was that toast and jam special edition tea bag. But normally, don't drink tea at all. I don't drink coffee either. It's basically like
Caffeine free.
I just don't. I don't feel. I'm all about all natural energies. Okay. No, it was kind of like normal tea, Adam, but with a hint of strawberry in it.
Oh.
But yeah, I don't regret it. I'm over.
I don't regret
I'm
it.
over it. Yeah.
I'm gonna start. Like, I really like that. It's like, do you like it? I don't regret it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not one to regret.
Just think it's what it is, guys.
regret it.
I don't regret it. Did you kill him? I mean, I did. I don't regret it, but yeah, I did do it.
I did kill him.
I did kill him. You know what? He deserved it. He deserved it.
no
Right.
remorse.
I'm going to end this episode on another death, a random death. I'm going to scroll through this book at high speed, close my eyes, see what's in there. Okay, here we go. This is called A Touch of Magic. So, murder charges were filed in Maryland on the 4th of January 2002 against Josephine Gray, 55 years old, dubbed the Black Widow. for allegedly enticing lovers to kill 2 husbands and a boyfriend and using voodoo to keep witnesses from testifying against her. "I don't practice voodoo, and I don't practice witchcraft," she said, when she was charged over her husband's second death. No, her second husband's death. Her husband's second death. Impressive.
He's died twice.
Good. He's really good.
Double kill.
He is.
Double or nothing. Just because I go and buy a Lucky Charm to play the lottery or something, or buy herbs and drink herb tea, or take olive oil and anoint myself, that's in the Bible. Gray, who lived in the Maryland suburbs of Washington, scrubbed lavatories and mopped gym floors for most of her adult life, working from 1967 to 1998 as a custodian for the Montgomery County Public Schools. However, she was described as flamboyant and fond of heavy makeup and tight skirts. She married Norman Stribling. In 1967. Jesus Christ, I can't read. 1967,
fucking can't do
and
it.
had 5 children with him. He was shot dead in his parked car on the 4th of March, 1974. She later collected $16,000 from his life insurance policy. One relative recently recalled a quote-unquote magic spell that she believed led Norman Stribling uncontrollably to scratch his face to shreds. 2 brothers, Donald and Clement Mills, gave statements that they were approached individually by Josephine Gray and her boyfriend, Robert Gray, and offered money to kill Stribling. The widow and Robert Gray were charged with conspiracy to commit murder, but the charges were dropped after the witnesses disappeared. According to Robert Gray's family, before he and Josephine met at a part-time job cleaning offices, he was a good husband and a proud father of 6 children, but after that his whole personality changed. According to his wife Frances, when he stopped eating food cooked by Josephine, he was back to his old self. Proof, she said, of her suspicions of witchcraft. Josephine and Robert had a child and married in 1975. She lost interest in him in October 1990, a mere 15 years later, and threatened his life. He moved out and rented an apartment in Germantown, but was shot dead on the 9th of November 1990, shortly after an accidental death policy was issued in his name. I mean, so far it just seems like she's doing insurance fraud. Just doesn't seem very magical to me. Police charged Josephine and her teenage cousin Clarence Good with murder, but again the charges were dropped because once Josephine was let out on bail, key witnesses changed their stories. Gray received $50,000 in insurance proceeds from her husband's death, quite a tasty payout. At some point, Gray and her cousin began an affair. Wow, this story's all over the place, man. Jesus, I can't keep up. By 1996, Good had decided his life was in danger. According to the family members, Good's body was found in the boot of a car in Baltimore on 21st of June 1996, dead from a 9mm gunshot wound, 2 months after a $100,000 life policy that named Gray as the beneficiary took effect. What was that gun, Lewis? Sorry, what was the millimeter?
Stone Cold Stainless Steel 9mm. Oh, is it Uzi 9mm?
There we go.
Uzi
Got that. Stone Cold Steel 9mm Uzi.
Uzi 9mm.
That's the one.
Have a laser
That's
sight.
the one. It's okay. Don't worry. I got it out of you in the end. So, Good's sister remembers finding a black voodoo doll with real hair among his possessions. She quickly threw it away. Court documents describe an incantation caught on tape and voodoo ritual materials recovered from Gray's home in December 2001. Stymied for 27 years, police and prosecutors then devised a new strategy employing a tool frequently used in racketeering cases. In November 2001, a federal grand jury handed up an indictment charge Gray with mail and wire fraud for collecting on the 3 men's insurance policies. The policies were covered by Maryland's so-called Slayer's Rule, which prohibits any person who intentionally kills the insured from receiving benefits. Gray's current living boyfriend, Andre Savoy, 48, was expected to testify against her, as she was now safely, behind bars.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
That
Black
horrible
Widow.
woman. How did she get away with it for so long?
Fucking voodoo, mate.
Voodoo, nothing else, nothing more, nothing to do with people just not looking into it as far as they should, and voodoo, insurance fraud getting away with it all. Guys, I'm going to leave it there. There's a strange death for you. There it is.
It's been a treat, James.
Yes.
Has it? Has
It's been a
it
treat.
really?
We've had some nice
you
little
know,
deep conversations.
I mean, I don't really remember what I've said.
Well, this is the beauty of technology, James. You'll get to listen to it
Yeah.
back
I
tomorrow.
can't wait to edit it, thumbs up, and be like, wow, I really embarrassed myself.
And now everyone else will see.
Now
that.
all my listeners can listen and go, you know what, James,
What a cunt.
he really is a pathetic worm. So yeah. so yeah. Listeners, how you enjoyed this little I don't know what to describe as. I mean, it's an episode. It's going out as an episode.
An impromptu
drunken
episode about death.
Drunken episode about strange deaths and discussing death, because it comes for us all eventually.
Oh, he has gone quiet.
I haven't gone quiet. I'm
Oh,
just
no,
being
you were-
dramatic.
Oh, we can hear you now. We can
Yeah,
hear you
of
now.
course you can hear me. You can always hear me when you want to hear me. Listeners, thank you. I have to thank someone, not these two. So I'm thanking you. No, I'm only joking.
I'm
no,
gonna thank you.
Thank you everyone for listening this week. As always, I hope you are well, enjoying the podcast, and also thank you to Adam Daly
Hello.
and Lewis Carter.
Goodbye.
Handsome folk. I've got to do the shameless
I've got to do the
social
outro.
media plug first, but if you want to check out now,
Goodbye.
feel free to, because, you know...
Okay,
Okay, you know what? No. Yeah, Lewis, you do the social medias for once, okay? I'm going to sit back. You do it. I'm going to sit back here. I'm going to take off my dressing gown and reveal my body to you. There you go. Go on. I'm going to sit back here and you can do the social medias for once. Enjoy.
If you want to follow our daily updates on Midlanders on Instagram. Yeah, and if you want to get in touch with us, our email is idlanders@gmail.
It's not.
It is.
It's marvels.mysteries@gmail.com.
Thank you, Adam.
I just
Lewis,
guessed that. Let's go.
You've been here for 37 weeks and you don't know the email address.
Well, that's what I've been sending my.
He's going.
I sent all my spontaneous combustion.
Have you been in boxers this entire time?
I've been in boxes the entire episode, mate. I've been in boxes for about 4 hours. I'd get home and just take all my clothes off, apart from the boxes.
Oh, thank fuck. Thank fuck it.
Yeah.
Get this off of me.
Oh, such a handsome boy.
You wish you could see the webcam, listeners, because I am just flexing my non-existent muscles perfectly.
Still.
They've seen everything then, guys. No, not everything, no, but everything but the genitals.
Cock.
So yeah, you can find us at our email, marvels.mysteries@gmail.com, and you can find us on Instagram at MMMidlanders or at MMMidlanders. It's that easy. So thank you for tuning into this episode of Marvels. I'm still slurring. Marvels, Mysteries, and Midlanders. I promise I'm not drunk every episode, but hey, gotta try something once, right? Not everything.
Exactly.
Don't knock it till you've tried it, but some things you shouldn't try. Trust me. So yeah, thank you. Any parting words, ladies and gentlemen, people of the podcast? What do you want to say? What do you want to say? Just tell me.
Fuck, avoid camels, man.
Yeah, that sounds like sound advice.
Good.
Be patient with your tea making.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a fantastic week, and next week we'll be back with a proper subject. Something more, detailed, I promise. Well, it depends. Maybe I don't feel like it. Maybe get strange deaths too. I don't care. How about you just wait and find out? Sorry, I didn't mean to take it on you. Yeah, thank you so much. Have a great week. This is Marvel's Mysteries and Midlanders. I'm James. He's Adam.
Hello.
And he's Lewis Carter. You are beautiful, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Take care now. Bye-bye then. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Beer gone, Lewis? Did you ski it off or something? Did you get hit?
Did
by
you
a-
ski it off?